As the stock market continues to crash and fears of recession grow louder and louder, the Trump administration decided it was a good idea to put their corruption on full display. So while they are telling the rest of America to go ahead and buckle up for some economic pain, we have a president of the United States who is trying to sell Teslas from the White House lawn for his biggest donor of the 2024 campaign. And as we talked about in the Tesla takedown video just the other day, Tesla stock has been crashing and has lost 55% of its value since its high just back in December. Probably because Elon Musk has been running around and trying to tear down our government from the inside out. And now we have a president who wants to show a little bit of fealty to his largest donor. So he brings a lineup of Teslas to the White House so they can shoot what? Some sort of promo video? Here he is walking down a line of Tesla vehicles. I mean, the corruption could not be more in your face at this point. If you guys do appreciate my work, please do remember to subscribe.
I'm going to look at this. I'm going to make a decision. Do you want to hear what my decision is? Okay. What's your best of these cars? What do you think?
Well, the car that I drive is the Model S Plaid.
Which is that one?
That red one in the middle.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds. It's faster than a Ferrari.
It's pretty fast. I don't know if my people can handle it. Jeff, they're going to be using it more. I'm not allowed to use it.
It looks fast.
That's a fast one.
Just to be clear, sir, the 50%, is that going to go into effect on Canada or not?
Which one?
The 50% tariffs?
I'll let you know about it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll let you know. But I appreciated his call. I thought it was nice. This is beautiful. Whoa! Should I get in?
Get in!
Yeah. Okay.
Have you ever sat
Let me
behind
get
the
in
steering
a
wheel of
second.
one of these? Of a Tesla?
You want my notes?
Yeah.
They gave me notes. I said, I'm not Biden. I don't need notes.
I'll take one. I can take it.
Thank you. Now, let me get into this sector. I'll watch Secret Service go crazy. Thank you.
I mean, if you actually drove it around, it would really be wild.
Beautiful. Wow.
I get it this other side.
That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer.
So as Donald Trump nonchalantly just brushes aside any real talk about the economic harm that he is causing the rest of America, he goes ahead and just wants to play toy cars with his buddy Elon Musk. And does anybody for 1 second believe that Donald Trump even knows how to drive a car? I'm pretty confident that he's spent his whole life getting other people to drive him around. But I just find this absolutely grotesque. He is rubbing it in America's face. You know, we're going to be fine, me and my billionaire buddies, but the rest of America, well, they're going to have to suffer through some economic turmoil. That's pretty much what he's saying. And I mean, they weren't very, what's the word? They weren't hiding it. They weren't very subtle about it. Here's Donald Trump basically reading off a Tesla sales script.
I'm not a wife, so I have a lot of information, including the price.
Yeah.
I want to make a good deal here. You know, I do notice this. They have one, which is $35,000, which is pretty low. What is that all about?
Yeah, it's, I guess we wanted to make the point that Teslas aren't all expensive. You can get a Tesla for as little as $35,000.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to thank the president for his support. This means a lot. And also thank everyone out there who is supporting Tesla. It's really terrible that there's so much violence being perpetrated against people like Tesla, Tesla supporters, Tesla owners, Tesla stores. These are innocent people who've done nothing wrong.
Now, I don't in any way promote or endorse any violence that has occurred at just Tesla charging stations or Tesla dealerships or SpaceX buildings. I condemn all of that. That is not good. But I wish Elon would have a little bit more self-awareness, because as he whines about these people being innocent bystanders, he is going around the federal government and just wiping people's livelihoods out. He's firing tens of thousands of employees. He's trying to stop federal funding that has already been appropriated by Congress. He is causing so much harm to innocent bystanders of his little games in the federal government. Meanwhile, he wants to go on his little whiny little bitch boy tangent like this. Do these people they just have no self-awareness, and they just do not care about the little guy. All they care about is getting that next billion, that next trillion, whatever it might be. And if they want to, look into a camera and laugh into your face as they do it, that's exactly what they are going to do, which is pretty much what Trump did here when he said, well, Elon Musk has never asked me for nothing, man.
But I'm telling you, I ended the electric mandate, and I was waiting for a call. I said, did Elon call yet? They said, no, sir. The next day, what about Elon? Did he call? He never even mentioned it to me, never complained. Until this moment, I'm just bringing it up. Who would do that? Yeah. He has never asked me for a thing. And he's built this great company, and he shouldn't be penalized because he's a patriot. He's an incredible patriot. And I don't even know if he's a Republican.
Yeah, Elon Musk, the patriot. The guy who came to the United States, overstayed his visa, and then has built himself up to be the wealthiest man in all of the world off the back of America, and now is trying to tear the whole system down so he can rebuild it in his tech oligarch type way. These people are shameless. They do not care about the everyday American. All they care about is that billionaire class and accumulating more and more and more wealth for them and their friends. Meanwhile, you've got Trump basically admitting that, yes, this is a ploy to boost Tesla's stock because, as we discussed, it is falling off a cliff right now, partly because of what Elon Musk is doing in our federal government, I'm sure.
Mr. President, if you buying a Tesla will boost Tesla sales and boost their stock?
Well, I hope it does. Look.
Was that your goal?
I care about one thing. When somebody's a great patriot, they shouldn't be hurt. He's a great patriot.
Yeah, so I really do hope that Elon Musk sees some sort of return on my investment of time right here. I mean, it's despicable, it's grotesque, it's all of the words that you can think of when you think about a greedy oligarchy that is forming right in front of your very eyes. And now we have a president of the United States who is trying to curry favor with his billionaire buddies at the expense of the taxpayer. I mean, you're using the White House lawn. I mean, it would be one thing if, you had these companies come around, maybe you have a Jeep or a Chevy or whatever it may be, but Elon Musk is your biggest donor. The corruption could not be more clear. This is the guy who arguably swung the election to put you in office, and now you are doing direct things to try to influence his stock price, to try to make him a little bit more wealthy, even though he is the wealthiest man in all of the world. I mean, it is beyond parody at this point. Here's Donald Trump talking about how we should just label the people who are protesting Tesla or the people who are vandalizing Tesla as domestic terrorists.
Yeah. Mr. President talks about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. I've stuck up for the NFL. I've stuck up for a lot of American companies and other companies, but American companies. I did a very big favor for the NFL. I do favors for all. When you heard an American company, especially a company like this, supplies so many jobs that others are unable to do, when you do that, those people are going to go through a big problem when we catch them. And
do you guys think for 1 second that if one of Mark Cuban's companies was under attack, that Donald Trump would give a full-throated endorsement of labeling those people as domestic terrorists? I mean, just imagine how insane this is. You have a president of the United States trying to use his power as president to label people as domestic terrorists for simple acts of vandalism. I mean, they're just creating the reality that they want to live in. We talked about this the other day, how it's kind of a choose your own adventure. We can just exemplify these crimes into domestic terrorism if we want to, because these people are seen as against the administration, against dear leader. So we can do whatever it is that we want to do to them because they need to be punished, of course. They're damaging my buddy Elon. So they must be punished. They must step back into line. We all knew it was going to be bad. But did we know it was going to be this bad? We now know that Elon Musk is now pretty much planning on giving Donald Trump another $100 million that his entities would have control over.
So, Anderson, Teddy Schleifer and I reported that Elon Musk has signaled to Trump's advisors that he wants to direct $100 million into Trump-controlled political entities. Now, that's different than what he has done in the past. In the past, he has funded a lot of political support for Donald Trump. It's, I believe more than $300 million in the past through his own PAC called America PAC. This would be something very different. It would be giving it to entities that are controlled by the Trump team.
So the corruption continues, yeah? Giving Donald Trump and his entities $100 million of donations so they can do with it what they will? Was that a scratch my back and I'll scratch yours type of thing because Donald Trump held this sales event for Tesla on the White House lawn? Like I said, these people aren't hiding it anymore. And in fact, they are rubbing it in your face. As the average American struggles with this terrible economy, these people are just having the time of their lives, using Donald Trump's power as president to line their own pockets. This is something we've got to call out because none of this is normal, folks. None of it is normal. Now, has there always been an outsized influence from wealthy people in the government? Yes. But what we are seeing with this Trump administration is out of this world compared to anything that you might even be thinking of. And I think that Seth Moulton put this probably in the perfect way. These people are looking out for them and theirs while punishing pretty much everybody else.
So Trump thinks that if you try to kill cops to overthrow the government and change an election, that's not domestic terrorism, but somehow having a protest in front of a Tesla dealership is. The bottom line with Trump is freedom and liberties belong to people who agree with him, and that's it. That's his view of America. That's not a view that people who believe in our Constitution share.
That is just spoken so well. Anybody who wants freedoms and liberties, or those who are given freedoms and liberties, must agree with dear leader. Anybody else, well, all bets are off the table. If you throw a rock at a Cybertruck and you get caught, well, maybe you might be labeled as a domestic terrorist and be thrown in jail for years upon years. And that's what this kind of boils down to. And as we spoke about before, when Trump was first coming into office, he is pretty much waging a war on the poor. And when he does stuff like this on the White House lawn to, curry favor with his billionaire buddies, all of that just becomes a little bit more clear. How could you say that the January 6th rioters are not domestic terrorists, but somebody who might throw a rock at a Tesla is a domestic terror? It all just doesn't make any sense. If you don't step in line, if you do not agree with Donald Trump, then those liberties and those protections that this country has afforded you for over 200 years, well, those are off the table. And they will find any way around it to punish you. Just like we've seen in a number of different cases. Trying to take green cards away from people who led protests that they didn't like. Lawyers being fired because they didn't like a certain decision. Trying to get others to drop the charges against Mayor Adams. And when they wouldn't, they were threatened with being fired, so they just resigned. So the corruption's right out in the open. The oligarchy is here, and we must stand up and fight back against it. So get involved with some of those Tesla takedown protests. As I have mentioned before, do not be violent. Do not go and agitate for violence. We do not need to give these people any excuses at all to invoke martial law or send the military out. So go to TeslaTakedown.com, see if there's any protests in your area, and start fighting back against this oligarchy who is just rubbing their wealth right in your face. I will leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We've got to build something here on the left that can adequately push back against this right-wing media ecosystem that just shovels shit for Trump every single day. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to subscribe. It is free. And if you guys want to see a little bit more about those Tesla takedown protests and how they are popping up all over the country, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.